Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I'm going to be trying something different. As a lot of you probably know, I love horror movies. I did not grow up watching Disney. I grew up watching movies like It, Prom Night, The Fog. I'm credible. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm a credible source of information. I'm a wealth of knowledge for you. I'd like to do a movie review on The Conjuring. It just came out this weekend. I have some thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts, and I would like to share them with you in an organized manner. Please stay tuned until the end of this really quick video for my full thoughts, my full review, my rating, but I'm just going to get into a couple of the aspects of this movie. So James Wan, he was the director of this movie and pretty much did everything else. He wrote it, he made the screenplay, he produced it. Movies that he's done in the past are movies like, he did Saw, Insidious 1, Insidious Chapter 2, he even did Furious 7, okay? And I really appreciate him. He had a very heavy hand in filming this movie. It is a sequel to the 2013 film The Conjuring. It takes place in 1977 UK. And it basically follows around this family who's being terrorized by this demonic presence. This demonic presence focuses mostly on an 11-year-old daughter, Janet. It terrorizes Janet. It goes so far as possessing Janet. It's just a really bad situation. So Ed and Lorraine Warren agree reluctantly to go help this family and just kind of see what's going on, check everything out, but they end up getting in for a lot more than they bargained for and a lot more than they were expecting. Runtime was 134 minutes, so just over 2 hours, which is pretty long for a horror movie, but it did not feel that long. One thing that I really appreciated about this movie is that I remembered nothing of the first film. This is one of those rare instances where there's a sequel that you can totally jump in without having any previous knowledge of what happened in the prequels to that film. That might make the plotline seem too simple, kind of dumb, but in reality I think that it made for a more universal, overall better viewing experience. The set masters, the makeup people, the clothing people on this film, they should get a lot of credit because they really did a good job of making it feel like 1977 Europe. From the posters on the walls, to what the girls wore at bedtime, to how Lorraine's hair looked, everything was the 70s in the UK. They even did a good job using the filters and the lighting on the lens to make it seem old-fashioned and dated without being lower in quality or too distracting. I hope that they get nominated for several awards because they deserved it. Sometimes in movies, I feel like the actor's skill gets lost under all of the makeup and the production and the scary music and the colored contacts. But in this instance, the little girl who played Janet, Madison Wolfe, I think that she acted superbly. I think she was fantastic. I think she was terrifying. And she didn't get lost in the, ooh, it's scary because it's a little girl wearing really scary makeup. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was actually good. In fact, all of the acting overall, it was fantastic. There were a couple parts that I had issues with, but it was more the delivery of the line and like how the line was written rather than the acting. There weren't too many bizarre I'm scared, heavy breathing moments, which I really, really appreciated. There were plenty of jump scares that you could see coming from a mile away that once they got there, you were like, oh, I knew this was coming. But then there were other ones that were either delayed or never came at all. So throughout the whole movie, you're basically sitting like this with one hand covering your eye halfway, just like shoulders hunched, knowing that something is gonna come. And it might not. So this movie just leaves you on your seat until the very, very end of the movie. What I love about this movie, this whole series, is that they play homage to the horror movies of our past, with the like the big music and then the boom, and it like flashes the name of the horror movie in red letters, and it's just like they drip down. Like I love that old like 60s, 70s, 80s horror movie vibe that this really gives off. Makes you hyped. Overall, I thought this movie was pretty scary. Its special effects were really nice. The acting was great. Most horror movies of today offer a few cheap jump scares and call it a horror movie. This was no such movie. I was scared deeply and superficially, like the superficial jump scares from the big banging sounds, but then also it made me think about like the scary faces that I saw later at that night. It was scary on multiple levels and I really appreciated it. As a horror movie in general, I'd rate it a 4 out of 5. I think it was pretty good. I was impressed. And as a horror movie of today's standards, I'd rate it a 4.75 because it was fantastic, but there's always room for improvement. I hope that you enjoyed this quick little movie review. If you did, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you want more like it, comment down below what you thought of this movie and if you're going to see it. And subscribe for new videos all the time. I hope to see you in my next one. Make sure to go out there, live like you give a fig, get scared shitless, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys!